In 2025, the Rolex market is a battlefield where not every crown reigns supreme, with certain models plummeting from their once lofty heights due to oversupply, shifting tastes, and economic headwinds. While Rolex's iconic Submariners and Steel Day dates hold court, these 10 models labeled "These 10 Rolex watches are a total failure in 2025, don't buy them," have stumbled spectacularly, shedding 10–25% of their secondary market value as hype fizzles, and collectors pivot to minimalist or high-complication alternatives. This countdown exposes the missteps where flashy dials, dated sizes, or complex mechanisms fail to spark in a market craving simplicity and scarcity, urging collectors to dodge these depreciating duds unless driven by pure passion over profit. Number 10. Rolex Cellini Date. The Rolex Cellini Date wallows in 2025 as a gilded outcast. Its 39mm Everose gold case and guilloche silver dial, powered by the caliber 3195 with 48-hour reserve and sub-dial date, crumbling 25% to $2,500 secondary against $1,400 retail. Its dress watch delicacy drowned by Oyster sports fervor in a market shunning non-rugged relics. At 7.5mm slim with 45mm lug-to-lug, this 140-gram piece drapes elegantly via leather strap and hidden clasp, its fluted bezel and sapphire crystal framing a rayonant dial with alpha hands. Yet its 50-meter water resistance and lack of lume or complications like moonphase falter against Seiko Presage cocktail rivals, rendering it a boardroom bystander. The 24 jewel movement, ticking at 28,800 VPH with +2 2 seconds precision, boasts glucider balance but lacks parachrome anti-magnetism, exposing fragility in modern fields, while 2024's discontinuation buzz cemented its awkward luxury stigma, with premiums erased as Perpetual 1908 steals its thunder. Collectors lament its neither Patek nor tool limbo on forums, with 18% KAGR losses outpacing Datejust dressers, its rose gold patina glowing warmly but fading fast in resale reality. The guilloche's radial ripples, evoking Renaissance etchings, pair with domed lugs for cuff-friendly poise, yet nocturnal illegibility seals its fate as a daylight-only dandy. In 2025's sports-driven surge, the Cellini Date fails flamboyantly, a gilded ghost where classical charm collapses, warning buyers to bypass its fragile finesse for Oyster fortitude. Number 9. Rolex Datejust 36 Two-Tone Diamond Dial. The Rolex Datejust 36 Two-Tone Diamond Dial sparkles vainly in 2025. Its 36mm roll-sore case Oyster steel and 18K white gold, fluted bezel with champagne diamond set dial, Refier 126233, crashing 18% to $11,200, secondary from $13,800 retail. Its blingy bravado buckling under minimalist tides favoring steel submariners over bedazzled baubles. The caliber 3235 automatic, with 70-hour reserve and Paraflex shocks, sweeps at 28,800 VPH for 2 +2 seconds. Its Cyclops magnified date at 3 o'clock sharp under sapphire, yet the 10 baguette diamonds and yellow gold accents age poorly against 2025's monochrome mania, the 100-meter triplock seal overshadowed by dive watch dominance. The Jubilee bracelet's 5-link weave, at 150 grams for 7-inch wrists, clasps with EasyLink. But the two-tone sheen screams dated opulence, trailing all steel Datejusts by 10% as AD oversupply since 2023 obliterates 30% premiums. At 11.5mm thick with 44mm lug to lug, it fits fluidly, but without ceramic bezel or lume pips, it lags in utility and legibility, a glitzy gimmick against Tudor's Black Bay thrift. Forums scorn its Rolex Flex visibility, with Chrono24 noting 20% Q2 2024 dips, its champagne glow shifting honey to harvest but fading in dusk. The diamond facets, refracting like chandeliers, clash with brushed flanks. Yet in 2025's purest pivot, the Datejust 36 Two-Tone Diamond Dial fails flashily, a pave pitfall where glamour gluts resale, urging collectors to dodge its dazzling decline. Number 8. Rolex Day Date 40 Rose Gold Green Dial. The Rolex Day Date 40 Rose Gold Green Dial falters regally in 2025. Its 40mm Everose Gold President case and olive green Roman dial, Refant 228-235, sliding 15% to $42,000 secondary from $46,300 retail. Its presidential pomp dimmed by 36mm successors and overproduced opulence in a market craving leaner luxury. The caliber 3255 with 70-hour reserve and chronergy escapement ticks at 2080-800 VPH for 2 + 2 seconds, day date at 12 and 3 o'clock via Cyclops under Sapphire, yet the sprawling day window and chunky 12.2 meters profile clog elegance, outshone by platinum siblings as 2024's Watches and Wonders cuts flooded auctions. The President Bracelet's 3-link ceramic inserts at 180 grams for 7.5-inch wrists clasp invisibly, but the green dial's earthy allure-shifting sage to seafoam lax loom, faltering in twilight against Omega's Seamaster vibrancy. At 48 mm lug-to-lug, it wears boldly, Paraflex-absorbing shocks. But sans dive utility, it's a desk-bound monarch, trailing Skydweller by 12% KGR as collectors shun bulky Romans. Valued 15% below 2023, peaks per Chrono 24's 16.9% 2022 slide. This model's Everose warmth pairs with fluted bezel's emerald etchings, yet forums flag its overpriced for dress stigma. In 2025's Verdant Vogue, the Day-Date 40 rose gold green dial fails floridly, a leafy lord where grandeur grounds value, cautioning against its sovereign slump. Number 7. Rolex Milgauss White Dial. The Rolex Milgauss White Dial, Reference 11-400 GV, fizzles in 2025 as the scientist's misfit. Its 40mm Oyster steel case with green sapphire and orange lightning bolt hand dropping 15.3% to $9,500 secondary from $11,200 highs, discontinued in 2023 and spurned for quirky aesthetics in a purist push favoring explorer precision over gimmicky glow. The caliber 3131 with Faraday cage for 1,000 Gauss resistance hums at 2080-800 VPH with 48-hour reserve and 2 + 2 seconds. Its white dial's orange accents at 6, 9, and 12 glowing green under sapphire. Yet the smooth bezel and 100-meter triplock seal lack tachymeter utility, trailing submariner functionality. The Oyster bracelet's 3-link clasp at 160 grams for 7-inch wrists endures shocks via Glucidur balance, but sans date or full loom, it fades in labs or nightlife, a relic against Breitling's Navy Timer thrift. Post-2023 discontinuation, gray market gluts erased premiums, lagging black dial kin by 10%, with Chrono 24 noting 15.3% Q2 2022 dips as collectors mock its odd man out vibe. At 12.8 mm thick with 47 mm lug-to-lug, it wears boldly, but the green crystal's tint obscures clarity, a flaw in 2025's legibility lust. The white canvas, stark with electric bolts, scripts CERN sagas, yet the Milgauss white dial fails functionally, a magnetic misstep where quirky quails, warning buyers to skip its static slide. Number 6. Rolex Daytona White Dial. The Rolex Daytona White Dial, Reference 500 LN0001, stalls in 2025 as the Panda Pariah. Its 40mm Oyster steel case with Serichrome bezel, skidding 16.7% to $30,000 secondary from $36,000 peaks. Its black subdial hype crushed by 26500's sleeker successor and 80 saturation in a chronograph correction shunning showy contrast. The caliber 4130 column wheel chronograph with 72-hour reserve and vertical clutch sweeps at 28,800 VPH for 2 + 2 seconds, its tachymeter bezel tracking 400 units under sapphire. Yet the white dial's scuff-prone sheen-loomed Mercedes hands glowing blue fades against black dial thrift at $28,000. The Oyster bracelet's solid links at 200 grams for 7.5-inch wrists clasp with EasyLink, but 2024's supply surge halved 2022's 3X retail frenzy, trailing Patek Aquanauts by 15% KGR as forums lament hype hangover. At 12.4 mm thick with 48 mm lug-to-lug, Paraflex shocks tame track jolts, but sans GMT utility, it lags versatile peers. Discounted 17% from Zenith per Chrono 24's 16.7% 2022 plunge. This model's ceramic durability shines, but resale regrets mount. The Panda's monochrome evoking checkered flags races vainly as the Daytona white dial fails fleetingly, a ceramic crash where speed sputters, urging evasion of its faded fame. In the whirlwind world of luxury watches, Rolex remains a titan, but not every model shines in 2025's cooling market, where oversupply, shifting tastes, and economic shifts have slashed values for some once-hot references. These 5 Rolex watches are a total failure in 2025. Don't buy them. Have plummeted 15-20% in secondary market value, trading at or below retail as collectors pivot to minimalist steel sports models or high-complication rarities. From the overhyped Daytona Panda to the nostalgic yet outmoded GMT-Master 2 Pepsi, these timepieces, despite their heritage, are trapped in a resale rut, undone by gray market gluts and Rolex's production surges. This countdown exposes the missteps, urging buyers to steer clear unless passion trumps profit, proving that even the crown's luster can fade when market winds shift. Number 5. Rolex Daytona Zenith. The Rolex Daytona Zenith, Reference 16520, stumbles in 2025 as a transitional tragedy. Its 40mm Oyster steel case with aluminum bezel powered by the modified Zenith El Primero, caliber 4030, crashing 20% to $18,500 secondary from $23,000 highs, outrun by ceramic 16500 successors and vintage manual wind 6263s in a purist market craving authentic Daytona DNA. Ticking at 36,000 VPH with a 48-hour reserve and 4 + 6 seconds accuracy, its white dial with stepped subdials and tritium plots, fading ochre, tracks speeds to 200 units via fixed bezel, framed by sapphire crystal, but unprotected pushers and a 100-meter seal lag, modern triplock standards. At 190 grams with the Oyster bracelet's hollow end links, it fits 7-inch wrists comfortably, yet its 12.5mm thickness and 47mm lug-to-lug feel clunky compared to 2025's sleeker chronographs. Launched in 1988 as Rolex's first auto Daytona, its initial flop turned frenzy by 2000 discontinuation, but 2024's gray market flood erased premiums, trailing in-house 116520 by 15% while rare Patrizi tropical dials hit 30K outliers. With Chrono 24 noting a 20% Q2 2022 dip, its modified El Primero outpaces Valjoux forebears but falters against parachrome-equipped peers, vulnerable to magnetism. The step dial's sunken registers, evoking cosmic craters, narrate speed sagas, but without full lume or ceramic durability, it fades in nocturnal races. In 2025's chronograph chase, the Daytona Zenith fails fleetingly. A hybrid has been where El Primero's edge erodes, cautioning collectors to dodge its outdated drive for modern marvels with lasting value. Number 4. Rolex Skydweller Blue Dial. The Rolex Skydweller Blue Dial, Refor 326934, nosedives in 2025 as a complicated castaway, its 42mm roll soar case. Oyster steel with white gold fluted bezel and vibrant blue sunray dial dropping 12% to $15,000 secondary from $17,000 peaks. Its Saros annual calendar and off-center GMT disc overshadowed by simpler Batman GMTs in a market prizing streamlined functionality. Powered by caliber 9002 with a 72-hour reserve, it tracks dual time zones and months via ring command bezel at 28,800 VPH with 2 + 2 seconds precision. Its date at 3 o'clock magnified by Cyclops under sapphire. Yet the cluttered 24-hour disc disrupts symmetry, alienating 2025's clean dial devotees. The Jubilee bracelet's 5-link design, at 170 grams for 7.5-inch wrists, clasps with EasyLink, but its 12mm thickness and 50mm lug-to-lug bulk up against svelte submariners, trailing two-tone siblings by 10% in resale. Introduced in 2017 to democratize Skydweller access, its travel tech hype collapsed with 2024's AD oversupply, with Chrono 24 noting 12% Q2 2024 dips as collectors chase mint green variants. The blue gradient, shifting from azure to indigo like Jet Set Horizons, maps global quests but sans dive utility. It drifts desk-bound, with forums flagging its over-engineered resale woes. In 2025's minimalist migration, the Skydweller Blue Dial fails functionally, a calendrical clutter where wanderlust wilts, urging buyers to bypass its convoluted blue burden for leaner legends. Number 3. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36 refowers. 12E6000 falters in 2025 as the entry-level underachiever, its 36mm Oyster steel case with smooth bezel and slate dial, slipping 10% to $6,500 secondary from $7,200 highs, its neutral palette and lack of complications dulled by vibrant OP41 hues and Datejust dazzle in a market-craving colorful charisma. Driven by caliber 3230 with a 70-hour reserve and chronergy escapement, it sweeps Mercedes' hands at 28,800 VPH with 2 + 2 seconds accuracy under sapphire. Its 100-meter triplock seal via screw-down crown, robust yet unremarkable without date or dive bezel. At 140 grams with the Oyster bracelet, its 8.2mm slimness and 44-meter lug-to-lug hug, 6.75-inch wrists discreetly, But 2024's neutral dial discontinuations, favoring beige over turquoise crushed premiums, trailing Explorer Y by 5% key AGR. Valued at retail parity per Chrono 24's 2022 slide, it outshines Omega C-Master Essentials in heritage, but stagnates in vanilla limbo, with forums decrying its lack of flair. The slate sunray, radiating lunar subtlety, whispers minimalist sonnets, but without lume pips or complications, it fades in low light and excitement. In 2025's colorful chronometric chase, the Oyster Perpetual 36 fails faintly, a basic blur where simplicity slumps, cautioning collectors to skip its subdued slide for bolder bets. Number 2. Rolex Air-King 34mm. The Rolex Air-King 34mm Refiner's 14,000 plummets in 2025 as a pint-sized pilot grounded by scale. Its 34mm Oyster steel case with white dial and Arabic 3/6 and 9 markers, dropping 8% to $4,200 secondary from $4,600 highs, its vintage proportions obsolete against 40mm successors in a market-demanding wrist presence. Powered by caliber 3130 with a 48-hour reserve and 4.6 seconds precision, it lacks date or lume pips, its green seconds hand-sweeping under sapphire for a 100-meter trip-lock seal. But the smooth bezel's blankness offers no utility against GMT or Submariner peers. At 130 grams with the Oyster bracelet, its 10mm thickness and 40mm lug-to-lug fit 6.5-inch wrists daintily, yet feel diminutive in 2025's bold sizing trends, trailing Explorer by 12%. Discontinued in 2000, its 2024 gray market surge erased premiums, with Chrono 24 noting 8% dips as female-sized stigma bites, despite RAF heritage rivaling Breitling Navy Timer thrift. The white dial's stark sky, accented by green sweep, evokes aviation epics, but nocturnal illegibility and lack of complications doom its ascent. In 2025's lofty lineage, the Air-King 34mm fails flightlessly, a compact crash where legacy lags, urging buyers to evade its undersized undoing for modern might. Number 1. Rolex GMT-Master 2 Pepsi. The Rolex GMT-Master 2 Pepsi, Refash 1267 Vatum BLRO, reigns as 2025's top failure. Its 40mm Oyster steel case with red-blue Cerachrome Pepsi, bezel, tumbling 16.9% to $20,000 secondary from $24,000 peaks. Its iconic soda palette diluted by AD oversupply, and Batman's monochrome rise in a market shunning flashy dual tones for sleek simplicity. The caliber 3285 with a 70-hour reserve and independent GMT hand tracks 48 cities at 28,800 VPH with 2+2 seconds precision, its black dial's red-tipped arrow, and Cyclops date at 3 o'clock glowing under sapphire secured by a 100-meter triplock seal. At 160 grams with the Jubilee bracelet, its 12.4mm thickness and 47mm lug-to-lug fit 7.5-inch wrists, but the vibrant bezel clashes with 2025's muted trends, trailing Coke Wenkstein 710 by 10%. Relaunched in steel in 2018, its 2X retail frenzy fizzled by 2024's supply glut, with Chrono 24 noting 16.9% 2022 dips as forums decry hype bubble bursts. The Pepsi's red-blue split, a Pan Am relic, charts global quests, but without annual calendar or dive depth, it lags Sky Dweller or Submariner utility. In 2025's tempered trek, the GMT-Master 2 Pepsi fails fizzingly, a colorful collapse where Traveler's Tonic turns tepid, imploring investors to dodge its depreciating dazzle for enduring icons.